Welcome back to the Eternal Wrestling Podcast, where rivalries live forever and legends never die. I'm your host, Jacob, and we are at the go-home show before our monthly pay-per-view, Ground Zero. I'm going to give you a quick little recap from what happened on last week, and then we're going to get into the action. So, last week, our main event was set. The show opened with Hulk Hogan attempting to manipulate his way out of a title defense, but Adam Pearce officially booked a triple threat match, steel cage for the world title, Hogan, McIntyre, Orton, with a strict no interference clause for any NWO members. Adam Copeland took on Braun Strowman, and the match ended in a DQ when Bronson Reed interfered. A 2-on-1 beatdown ensued and was stopped by Macho Man Randy Savage, clearing the ring with a steel chair. Darby Allin had a singles match and made short work of the Honky Tonk Man, winning with a coffin drop. And after the match, Damian Priest stared down his opponent for the number one contendership for the Vanguard title at the pay-per-view ladder match. Drew McIntyre sent a violent message to the champion Hogan after decimating Eddie Kingston with multiple Future Shock DDTs and Claymores. However, the night ended with Randy Orton nearly catching Drew with an RKO out of nowhere, proving that no one will be safe when it comes to this cage match. Backstage tension boiled between DIY as Ciampa demanded Gargano fix this issue with Finn Bálor. And also, in closing the main event, our tag team champions Penta and Rey Mysterio successfully defended their tag team titles against the debuting Acclaimed. Now, on to Reckoning. Our show opens up. We see a graphic of the Ground Zero on the Titantron. March 28th, pay-per-view. The energy in the arena is electric. We are officially on the doorstep to our pay-per-view for the month. Pyro shooting off, fireworks, flames. The crowd's jumping up and down. It is a capacity crowd here tonight. Lots of excitement. In segment 1, I had tag team opener here as DIY, Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa make their way out. They kind of don't seem exactly really happy with each other as they make their way down to the ring, but they're a team and, they're going to work through this issue and try to get Finn Bálor in the rearview mirror after the pay-per-view. And then comes their opponents, the Kings of the Black Throne, Aleister Black and Brody King. Very dark, very brooding. They got their culty-like masks on, skulls, antlers, with their black, shredded-looking robes that they're wearing. The lights flicker on and off as they almost look like they're teleporting to the ring. And then, before long, the bell sounds, and our match is underway. DIY immediately meet the brick wall that is the Kings of the Black Throne. Gargano and Ciampa, they're using rapid fire attacks, trying to hit drop kicks on Malachi Black that eventually sent him off to the floor. But Brody King, being the bigger tattooed man that he is, he ends up leveling DIY, both men with a double clothesline that turns them inside out. And then, as things further progress, Johnny Gargano, he's looking for the one final beat, but Brody King catches him midair, churning this into a gonzo bomb position. Aleister Black hits a black mass kick simultaneously. And fall 1, 2, 3. The Kings of the Black Throne, they win here. Aleister Black, he sits in the middle of the ring, crosses his legs, and Brody King stands behind him, looking very dominant and imposing. After this little posing session, the Kings, they make their way back up the ramp, and Tommaso Ciampa, he's, trying to kind of take care of his tag team partner, Johnny Gargano. Johnny, he's laying near a corner of the ring. He's on his back, kind of, clutching his ribs and stuff. Then, suddenly, out of nowhere, Finn Bálor slides in the ring. He hurries up, climbs to the top turnbuckle, jumps off, a big coup de grace, smashing his feet further into the gut of Johnny Gargano. Then he rolls out before Tommaso can grab onto him, and he yells, "The Prince doesn't miss. See you at ground zero." We have a commercial break, and then we see on the Titantron, it cuts to like a live feed here of the parking garage, and we see a black SUV pulling in. Adam Copeland and Macho Man are shown arriving together in this vehicle. Then suddenly a roar echoes throughout the parking garage as out from behind a pillar comes Braun Strowman, and he hoists a giant cinder block, hurling it with such force, and it smashes into the windshield SUV. The car swerves, slamming into a nearby parked car. Smoke is coming up out of the hood. There's broken glass everywhere. The camera, then we get a shot of the Hardys, Matt and Jeff Hardy. They were kind of talking to Darby Allin off to the side. But then the Hardy boys, they rush over to the SUV because their rental car was the one that got smashed. You know, they're screaming for help. You know, they're trying to pry open the door of the destroyed SUV. And we see, you know, a banged up and dazed Adam Copeland and Macho Man Randy Savage. Bronson Reed and Braun Strowman, you know, they're laughing as they walk off and exit the parking garage. The Hardys are pissed, and a medical team comes to check on Adam Copeland and Macho Man. We have a commercial break, and then on to segment 3. The Viper, Randy Orton, makes his way down to the ring. I hear voices in my head. They talk to me. They understand. And then he's going against Kane tonight. Remember, this is the 90s version of Kane, the full mask with the red and black. He comes out, flames are shooting up, the pyro is shooting up really high. He enters the ring, throws his arms up, throws them down, the fire shoots up from the ring posts, and this heavyweight slugfest happens with the sound of the bell ringing, and this action is underway. So Orton, he's trying to keep Kane down, trying to, you know, be more aggressive here. Take down the big red machine, keep this monster of a man down. But every time, Kane just sits up, and eventually he throat checks Orton, and, you know, he's got Orton goozled here by the throat. He's preparing for a big choke slam, trying to end this match rather early, surprisingly. Suddenly, Diamond Dallas Page, he hops the barricade with a steel chair in hand. He slides in, a big chair shot across the back of Kane. The ref signals for the bell. Ding, 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 ding. You know, DQ, Kane wins, but DDP doesn't care. He just keeps swinging that chair. Chair shot, hitting the back of Kane, hitting his ribs, doesn't care. Just going after him. Kane rolls out of the ring. He's trying to get away, trying to get some breathing room. And Orton just watches from the corner, smirking before eventually exiting the ring. Luckily for Orton, he didn't sustain too much damage before the pay-per-view. We then have a commercial break, and we're on to another single match here. Plenty of wrestling action tonight, as we see the whole effing show, as he likes to call himself, RVD, Rob Van Dam, one of a kind. He makes his way out. The crowd's chanting, RVD, RVD. He does the finger point, Rob Van Dam. The crowd's going wild. They're excited as can be. And then his opponent tonight, Bray Wyatt. But this is Firefly Funhouse Bray. He's got the long sleeve red sweater on. The "we're really glad that you're our friend. This is a friendship that will never ever end" theme plays, and he's waving at the crowd, looking happy and silly as he is, and kind of playful attitude. But as this playful attitude is during the entrance, once the bell rings, it is very much serious. So RVD, he's bringing that whole, effing show energy as he hits a Rolling Thunder rather early. But every time that he is building up momentum, Bray Wyatt he's laughing it off. Eventually RVD gets in position for a 5-star frog splash. But Wyatt, he rolls out of the way. And then gets into a signature spider walk where he's bent backwards. As his match progresses, eventually, kind of spooked looking RVD gets turned into a Sister Abigail. Bray Wyatt holds him for a moment, kissing his forehead, before slamming him down. 1, 2, 3. Bray Wyatt wins this matchup. Segment 5, we are shown backstage the Hardys, Matt and Jeff. They're storming straight to Adam Pearce's office, and they slam that door open. Adam Pearce, he's, looking like, what the heck? What's going on? What is your deal? Matt, he fires off. Did you see that, Adam? That wasn't wrestling. That was attempted murder. Homicide. Our car is totaled. And our friends, they're in the med bay. They're getting checked out. Jeff, he fires off with, the NWO, they think they own this place. They think they can just break whatever they want. We want Reed and Strowman tonight. No more talking. Pierce, he's got his hands up trying to, calm them down a little bit. You know what? You've got it. Main event tonight. But if this turns into a riot, it's going to be on your hands. Be prepared. Seg 6. We have a singles match here. Eddie Kingston, down on his luck, has not got a win yet here on the Reckoning brand. And he's going up against Umaga, the Samoan Bulldozer, who will be challenging Seth Rollins for the Vanguard title this Saturday on March 28th, Ground Zero. The Mad King, Eddie Kingston, he enters to a massive ovation. And immediately he goes to war. As the bell rings, stiff chops with Umaga that echo through the rafters. Kingston, he manages to get Umaga off his feet actually a little bit. Big lariat. But Umaga is called the Samoan Bulldozer for a reason, and the monster eventually rises. So Umaga, towards the end of the match here, he traps Eddie in the corner. Big wild Samoan splash. He picks up Eddie. It's a big Samoan drop. And then before Eddie can even get any breath in his lungs, he picks him up, grabbing him by the throat. He screams, spit flying out of his mouth, Umaga does. Big Samoan spike, thumb to the throat of Kingston, leaving Eddie gasping for air. Covers Eddie. 1, 2, 3. Your winner, the Samoan Bulldozer, Umaga. We have a commercial break here, and Umaga, he just kind of putting some stomps and strikes to Eddie Kingston, eventually throwing Eddie out of the ring. Lights flicker a little bit here, and Seth Rollins' music hits. Burn it down! But Seth, he doesn't come out to the ring. He just stands on the entrance ramp, and he's draped in a flamboyant fur coat. He slowly raises up the Vanguard Championship towards the sky. He cackles a little bit with his laugh into a microphone, and no words are needed. These two men will be going head-to-head for the championship. We then move on to segment 8 here, and we have a high-production vignette. The Young Bucks. They're standing in front of a private jet, and they say, Matt Jackson goes on to say, Penta Ray, you guys look great with those belts. Really. You do. But you know what? Those titles feel a little, lonely. And they're missing their rightful owners. Nick Jackson goes on to say, we're officially enacting our rematch clause. So, you should enjoy the view from the top while you can, because the Super Kick Party is moving back into the penthouse very soon. On to segment 9. KO, Kevin Owens, is taking on The Game, the King of Kings, Triple H. A physical, grueling matchup. Owens hits a cannonball in the corner and looks for a pop-up powerbomb, but Triple H counters with a facebuster here. Eventually, Owens, he's trying for that stunner, but Triple H pushes him off. Owens turns around, kick to the gut. Triple H drills him with a pedigree. Triple H gets a cover. Pinfall victory here, and he stands tall. Looking very good here in this showing, and looking for more, as he hopes to get back on his winning ways and maybe into the championship picture, if he can have it. Seg 10, our main event tag team action. The Hardys, Matt and Jeff, they make their way out to the ring. Jeff, he's doing his juke fireworks shoot off. Then the NWO, Bronson Reed and Braun Strowman. Bow, bow, wow, wow. The NWO logo pops up on the Titantron, and these two big men make their way out to the ring. The bell sounds, and they're using their size and their power, of course, because they're both big men. And they're decimating the Hardys for most of the match. Reed and Bronson, they're beating down on Jeff. And Jeff he's trying to get a tag here to Matt on the outside, but he's pulled back. And Reed and Strowman, they're taking turns swapping tags. Just mauling on Jeff Hardy. Kicks, slams, getting him in the corner, splashing on him. Until finally, Jeff, he's able to hit a drop kick on Bronson Reed. That stuns Bronson, knocks him down to a knee. And Jeff, he's crawling. He's trying to get the tag to Matt Hardy. Finally, he's able to get that hot tag. Matt, he mounts a comeback on Bronson Reed. He's able to get a twist of fate. He knocks Braun Strowman off the apron. He's climbing to the top rope. He's looking for a leg drop here. But Braun Strowman, being a very tall man, he's able to hit the top rope, crotching Matt. Reed then meets Matt up on the top rope, hitting a big superplex to Matt Hardy. He climbs up, goes for a tsunami splash. Then he also decides to hit a second tsunami splash. And he gets the pinfall here. But after the match, oh no, the NWO are not done with the Hardys. Braun Strowman, he's beating down Jeff. And he slams him into the barricade on the outside. He then makes that circular motion above his head. And the Strowman Express is chugging along into town. He runs around the ring, charging full speed towards the beaten down Jeff Hardy. He's closing in, and out of nowhere, Macho Man Randy Savage jumps off the barricade, crossbody, knocking down Strowman on the outside. A brawl ensues. Security has to come in to beat down Hardys. They're trying to put up a fight. Macho Man's trying to help him, even though he is bandaged up from that car accident earlier on. And it's just chaos. Security's flying left and right. These men are trying to get to each other, brawling like crazy. Security's trying to pull them to the back. And we go to a commercial break. Tag 11, our closing segment for the night, is our contract signing for the World Championship match at Ground Zero. The ring is set. We had a table in the middle. Adam Pearce is out there. The first enters is Drew McIntyre. He's looking laser focused. Then Randy Orton is the next. And finally, Hollywood Hogan enters. He's got the championship on his shoulder. Of course, it's spray painted with the NWO letters. And the first one to talk is Hogan. He goes on to say, "You two been barking at my heels for weeks. But at Ground Zero, the training wheels come off, brother." McIntyre goes in to say, "Shut it, old man. Your time ended a decade ago. I'm taking that title. I'm stepping over you both to do it." Randy Orton, he follows up with, "Talk all you want, Drew, but you forgot the most dangerous letters in this business." They all take turns signing the contract, and eventually the tension snaps. Suddenly, out of nowhere, Drew McIntyre, big Claymore kick to Hogan, knocking Hogan down. The championship goes sliding across the ring. Drew, he's turning around. He's gloating a little bit here, but he shouldn't have turned his back on the Viper. Orton catches him out of nowhere. Big RKO, sending Drew through that table in the middle of the ring. Orton, he's standing over both men. He picks up that World Heavyweight Championship, looking at it, and he's holding it high in the air as our show fades to black, ending our go-home episode here. Once again, I will reiterate that our pay-per-view is on March 28th, a Saturday, Ground Zero. We will run down the match card one more time as we have Seth Rollins taking on Umaga, defending his Vanguard Championship. We have Finn Bálor against Johnny Gargano to end this rivalry they've been having. A ladder match to determine the new number one contender for the Vanguard Championship, Darby Allin, Damian Priest. We also have Kane taking on Diamond Dallas Page, as Kane has developed a sudden fascination with destroying DDP for no apparent reason other than just total destruction. And then, world title match, steel cage, triple threat. Drew McIntyre, Hollywood, Hogan, and the Viper Randy Orton Hogan has screwed both of these men over the past month and week, cheating both men out of the World Championship, and a lot of great action is going to be happening. This pay-per-view episode is free, of course, and I will have it up early on in the morning so you can listen to it and enjoy it. And as always, whenever you listen to this, I hope it is a lovely morning, night, what have you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps the channel, it helps the podcast, looking to grow here, and I will catch you all in the next one.